This is lap 9 of the Brazilian Grand Prix, and Lewis Hamilton seems to be in some sort of trouble. His engine was cutting out just a few seconds ago. He's got it going again, but a lot of people have passed him. He was in 6th place at the point when his engine started cutting out. It sounds okay now, but I'm just trying to tell exactly where he is in the order. He's been passed by Button, he's been passed by Nakajima, Davidson. He is down outside the top 15. He's down, we believe, in 18th place. So it's gone from bad to worse for Lewis Hamilton. Some sort of engine cutout problem in the early stages of that lap. And, well, if it wasn't one thing, it's another for Hamilton. Massa leading, Raikkonen second, Alonso third. And as things stand, it's going to be Fernando Alonso who's going to win this World Championship if things don't change.
Well, it's a half a minute he lost on that lap, coasting along, apparently out of gear. And then, I don't know if he's changed to it. Sometimes you have different systems you can use inside the car, whether they've told him, go to a different system, a different setting, because all of a sudden, he's up and running again. Massa leads, it's lap 9 by 1.5 seconds over Raikkonen. They're 6.5 seconds clear of this man, third place, Fernando Alonso. Hamilton down in 18th place. Ted.
In the McLaren garage, Anthony Hamilton can't take his eyes off the screen, but it doesn't look very good at all, because Lewis's engineers, Phil Pruett and Richard Hochberg, are constantly on the radio to Lewis, telling him to try different things in the car, try different engine maps, try different electronic, hydraulic solutions. But Ron Dennis's face paints a very sorry picture at this time.
Thank you for that, Ted. Well, Hamilton's just done a personal best middle sector, so the car right now is working pretty well. And, well, I think back last year to the GP2 race in Turkey, Martin, where Hamilton spun early on and he had to fight his way back from 22nd place and he finished second. Of course, that's GP2, this is Formula 1, but he's going to have to pull off something similar to that to get his championship back.
Is he ever? He's 40 seconds off the leaders, but he's just done his personal best time of 1 minute 14.3. That's the third quickest lap of anybody out there, quicker than Alonso. Only the Ferraris are faster than that. Hamilton, can he pull this off? He's done another personal best in the first sector of this lap. He loves driving back through the field. Cars at 3 and 21 will be investigated. It's Fisichella and Yamamoto. I'd imagine Fisichella will get a fairly severe slapping for just putting straight back onto the racetrack.
Okay, let's take stock here then as we start lap 11 in Interlagos. Felipe Massa is leading by 1.5 seconds from Kimi Raikkonen. Fernando Alonso is third, 7 seconds behind Raikkonen. Then it's Kubica in fourth. He's looking pretty strong here this afternoon. He's passed Mark Webber on the racetrack, the Red Bull driver, down to fifth then. Sixth is Heidfeld, seventh is Jarno Trulli, and eighth is Nico Rosberg, with David Coulthard in ninth place where he started. We're on board with Hamilton, scything up the inside of Rubens Barrichello. That's now up into 17th place for Lewis Hamilton. And boy, is this going to be an eventful afternoon. The one thing in his favour, Martin, is the tyres are so bad here in terms of holding on that nobody out there will be on like one-stop strategies, will they? So that everybody he's racing against, they're not going to kind of hold him up for long periods of time. He's going to be able to just whip past the slower cars.
And also, he has him and Alonso have the fastest cars in a straight line here. So he should be able to pass a car as soon as he latches onto the gearbox of one of the midfield pack. He should be past it immediately. Massa 1.8 seconds ahead of Raikkonen now. Alonso 9 seconds away from the lead and lapping barely any faster than Kubica in fourth place for BMW. Webber then up to fifth now that Hamilton has dropped back. Heidfeld sixth, Trulli seventh, Rosberg eighth, David Coulthard ninth, Vettel for Toro Rosso in 10th place.
It's a strange race really in many ways for Massa, Raikkonen and Alonso now. They're in suspended animation. All they can do is wait and see what Lewis Hamilton is going to do here this afternoon. It's all in his hands. That's a replay of him slowing down earlier on. And that's his father, who cannot believe the maelstrom that he's already been through this year emotionally. But he seems to keep it all under control. And Hamilton tried different settings, eventually got the engine started again.
Pretty sure that was a replay. Hamilton is still in the mid 1 minute 14s, still makes him third fastest man on the track. Now if he's got to get up to fourth place, he is currently fifth place then. He is currently 30 seconds behind fifth place man Mark Webber. with 60 laps to go. He can still do it. He can still do it.
Well, if he were to do it, it would be one of the greatest drives in Grand Prix racing history. There is a big enough prize at the end of it for Hamilton, though. He's got a point to prove. He knows it was his mistake early on that caused him to go off the track when he was fighting with Alonso, but it was certainly not his problem when the engine decided to cut out. But as I said before, sometimes when that problem happens, that problem can come back again later in the race. So very edgy, 59 laps to go here. Ted Kravitz, what's the mood like down in McLaren?
Well, the mood is absolutely sombre, but the Alonso mechanics aren't looking too unhappy about it. But it does look like it's a gearbox problem, James. They were having a look at the gearbox in the Parc Fermé, so they opened up Lewis's gearbox and were just having a look. So there were concerns about the gearbox before the race even started. They were satisfied that it was okay, so they didn't need to change anything in Parc Fermé. But lots of the mechanics who look after the rear of the car just talking to each other. They're discussing what's going on, but the engine sounds fine as it comes past the pit straight.
So this is a replay. Lewis Hamilton's already up to P16 at the moment. If the race stays as it is, he needs 7th. If Raikkonen takes the lead, he needs P5. He can't find any gears. He gets on the radio. They obviously tell him to switch systems, and he's back up and running. Massa does a new fastest lap of the race. The Ferrari's sailing away at the front, but Hamilton passed Sutil on the previous lap. He's got a 4-second gap now to Ralf Schumacher, but he's lapping 2.5 seconds a lap faster. Next lap, he'll be on the tail of the Toyota of Schumacher.
He certainly will. Ralf Schumacher in his final outing for the Toyota team, and he's not been an easy man to pass in racing history, and he's certainly been involved in a lot of incidents. I think Hamilton will have to be very careful passing Ralf Schumacher. Then he's got Anthony Davidson, Kazuki Nakajima, Jenson Button, Takuma Sato, Vettel. He's got to work his way past all of them if he's going to try and get himself back into contention. But look at the top of your screens and just watch those laps. It's like the clock in the rugby match yesterday, isn't it? Giving him hope. 58 laps, a long way to go.
I don't think that this is Hamilton then. He's now just 2.7. Ralf Schumacher went much faster on that lap. Lewis in an unusual part of the racetrack there, to say the least. Look at this gaggle ahead of him. Looks like a video game, doesn't it? That's a nightmare to pass that lot. They're busy fighting each other. May not even see him coming, but he'll be mighty down this next straight. Be right on their tail at the beginning of the next straight. That is a lapped Renault in the middle there. I'm sure of it, isn't it? The Renault that's been... he should just yield. He should just get out of the way and let these guys through. He's getting a blue flag, and he does not pull out of the way.
Well, he's going to have to get out of the way. This is an amazing gaggle of cars then. At the head of it is Nakajima in the Williams, with Sato, Davidson and Ralf Schumacher in the tail. There is Nakajima. In fact, he's caught up to the back of Jenson Button, so Jenson's involved in this as well. And Lewis can pick these guys off one after the other. There's Jenson, in fact, a second ahead of...
He's up to P11 then. His next victim is Jenson Button, 8 seconds in front of him. Button's lapping in the low 1 minute 14s as well, so Button is not slow at all. Lewis 6.9 seconds exactly behind him, and he'll be 2 or 3 laps now before he has any more adventures.
So Massa leading, Raikkonen second, Alonso third. Alonso a long way behind the 2 Ferraris, but everyone in suspended animation. All eyes are on one car. It's silver, it's being driven by Lewis Hamilton, and who knows where it's going to end this race. It's lap 21 of the Brazilian Grand Prix from Sao Paulo, and race leader Felipe Massa emerges from